Stevie Dempsey then, the defending champion, has kept his run going all the way back to the final four. Semi-final time, he takes on Tom Ford. If you have been watching plenty of the Champions League so far in this competition, it is a format change for tonight. Now we are into the final four. It's sets and frames. It's best of 2 sets. It is a very, very similar format though. Each set, rather than match, is 20 minutes. And we will still be playing races to 4. So essentially, if you've been watching lots of us over the past few weeks, it's best of 2 matches. It's probably the best way to think about it.
Yeah, just a slight change of format, but it's still about winning this first set. That's the biggest key for the players right now. And first opportunity to Tom Ford. Good break, but dry. I think he has to go reds here. I don't think there's a huge amount of chance on yellows, and maybe able to get through to one to the bottom left, but the ones around the 8 ball are tricky. When it comes to the reds, I think the red nearest the left-hand side cushion just about slides in, and if it does, everything goes, and actually everything connects quite well as well. Biggest question would be 8 ball, but if he leaves red above it last ball, then I think the 8 ball comes down to this bottom left-hand corner or bottom right-hand corner comfortably. So there's plenty of options.
You'd struggle to meet a more laid-back player than Tom Ford's. It's not all sort of bluster. He really is this carefree, and it's refreshing. I love the contrast in personalities and players that we have on the Ultimate Pool circuit. Tom he's been perfect for these Monday night events, hasn't he? Absolutely brilliant. But makes the first mistake of the evening.
And the mistake wasn't necessarily the missed pot. Okay, I thought he was going to bail himself out by making a good recovery pot, but it was the previous shot when he didn't leave himself straight. If he gets straight on the red to the left centre, he tracks right behind that and he makes it unmissable for a player of his level. So it was the subtlety of a tiny bit of cue ball movement rather than the missed pot itself. So a chance for... This is the one. If he'd come back to straighter on that red, you see how the angle's taken the cue ball towards the yellow? If he was straighter on that red, he would have got the cue ball to the left-hand side and would have been straight in on the red to the top left. Well, Stevie thought he'd made that one, but he knew he was leaving a snooker if it didn't go in. It would have been interesting to see if he was going to go there, because he had a big problem at the top, and the ones by the 8 balls are still tricky. Oh, if there's a gap to get this one cushion, then it's a great chance for Tom. Yeah.
Oh, wow, there it is. Error from Stevie Dempsey, really.
Does he have an angle to get on the 8 ball? I don't think so. Oh, he does if he plays it that way. Beautiful.
That's clever. Very nice from Tom Ford. And first bloods. Goes 1-0 in front. Races to 4, or 20 minutes on the match clock. Whichever one comes first.
This was the shot that gave him the second chance. I mean, Stevie was trying to make that plant. It would have been interesting to see what his next shot would have been after that, whether he was going to dig deep for a finish, but still, he'll be annoyed to leave that gap. And second chance for Tom. You could hear that Tom made a ball.
Yeah, crunched that break, didn't he? It's been the one sort of shot in the tournament for Tom that's been a little bit inconsistent. But if he breaks like that tonight, he's going to have some fun.
And he said in his interview, actually, that the break is, he simplified it. Whoever gets the most chances of the break will win tonight, is how he put it. I don't necessarily go too deep on that, as in there's a lot more to the game than just the break. But if you're getting more chances, then you've got every chance when you play at the level that these 4 guys do. And so far, one break in, Tom's break looks good. Good power, good control. To be honest, not the best leave. He had 2 problem balls at the top on yellows, and the reds weren't a picnic either, so it wasn't the best split for him.
Yeah, you could argue deserved a little bit better, actually. Whenever you're forcing Ball's in at great pace into those middle pockets. Never easy.
Stevie likes to look at yellows as well. He had more of a chance to go reds than Tom did. Big visit to the table, you feel, in this first set for Stevie. I feel like whenever your opponent misses one of their last ball or two, you feel like you should win that frame 99 times out of 100. It doesn't play out quite that level, but that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And he let that, so in his own mind, he'll have let that previous frame go. This is his next opportunity, and he's got one problem ball to solve now. Straight up for it as a double. He's a fraction short in terms of the cue balls now going into the red, because he's short of straight on the double, but he doesn't need to do a huge amount with the cue ball to be on the next ball.
Yeah, very good.
Well, if he can take the one to bottom left and land straight in on the one to right centre, the one that's acute into the middle, it's pretty much framed for him.
I love that Craig Waddingham's in the crowd. You just saw there watching on.
Well, you talk about Tom Ford being relaxed. Craig Waddingham is as relaxed as it gets as well.
I mean, he has played for some serious pressure before. He's played some of the biggest money matches of all time. He's not worried about tonight. He's excited. He's up for it. And he's just enjoying the show for the time being.
I said that Stevie would have looked to get on the yellow into right centre, but this works just as well this way around. Now he wants to get straight in on it to right centre. And he wasn't moving the cue ball very far, so it was all but guaranteed. Good response to not winning the previous frame.
Just.
His reaction tells us all there. He thought he'd missed it.
You don't usually want to be messing about with those middle pockets.
Well,
braver man than me.
We talk about how nippy they can play and how awkward they are when they're acute, but players normally make them look easy, but not this time for Stevie.
No, that did not look easy. I can confirm. That did not look easy at all. But nevertheless, frame on the boards. And the hammer is at it again. Had a little bit of drama this morning.
Yeah.
On his way over from Dublin. As his cue was left behind in the airport. Not Stevie's fault, we should stress. He was completely innocent in this. But he spent a good amount of time dealing with a certain airline this morning and making sure it was on the next available flight over. Not what you really need on a day like this, but all's well that ends well.
Yeah, not the sort of stress you want. Depends how you deal with it though, isn't it? It's about still being prepared to play. Didn't change the start time. He knew he was going at 6:30. He's just got to get you a little bit of practice in. Nobody on a day like today puts too much time in. It's just about getting the cue arm going, loosening up.
Yeah, and I think Stevie's got a fantastic temperament. He's very relaxed and takes things on his merit. If he can't control it, he doesn't let it worry him too much.
He's been one of the most impressive players right from day one with Ultimate Pool. Turned up first tournament with Ultimate Pool, made the semi-finals. Kind of caught the eye of a lot of people when that happened. Even though he's won major titles in the past, it sort of was still in the field that Ultimate Pool are putting on. And he's built on that. 2 titles, 2 finals very recently. Here he is back in another finals night. He really is a force to be reckoned with, right in the top of the rankings, top 4. That was a clever little shot as well, just to open up a potential problem. You'd love to have an easier ball onto the 8 ball, which is probably the trickiest one to land on. There's a few different ways he could land on it, and he's caused himself a little bit of a headache by coming back too far on that shot he's just played as well. If he's straight in, then he can play yellow to the centre and get on the one to the right of it, and then deal with the ones at the bottom. Although if he likes the 8 ball to bottom left, he might want to keep one of the yellows at the top of the table for that.
Stevie Dempsey double up his Ultimate Pool Champions League trophies. Didn't think we'd really see him get the opportunity to go close, I'll be honest. Just when this tournament started, there's so many good players in it, the format's so volatile, you think the chances of someone, you know, going back to back is pretty big. And here he is again.
And he's just losing the cue ball here. I think he was playing for straight in on the one that he's nearest to, or just short of straight, just to be able to get up onto the one he's actually having to play now, which then connects to the 8 ball. So he sort of changed route about 3 times in this visit. And this doesn't look the best of angles. I think he's accepting a double. Is the red nearest the left centre pocket in the way of that double, though? It looks tight. Can he screw one on and off? And no, he's got quite a bit of angle. I was wondering if he really got into that, whether he could get the 8 ball in the same pocket, but probably not.
Yeah.
So it's a double, but this is tight.
Big shot already.
If it's doubles not on, it's a treble.
Match.
Oh, it's a double.
Big shot. And the hammer makes it once again and goes 2-1 in front. It did look tight, that.
How close does the red does he have to get here? I mean, it's hard to tell from that angle, but that's really good, clear thinking. That route had to change a few times. He just landed a bit. It wasn't like big mistakes or anything. He just landed a wrong side a few times in that visit, and eventually had to go the way he went and take the double, which I don't think would have been his first plan.
It's dry. Tom can feel pretty aggrieved. He's hit 2 breaks. He's hit them both brilliantly. He's been left a smelly leave on one, and he's completely dry on the other. That's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. Thought the biggest question with Tom would be his break tonight. It will continue to be the talking point until he gets it flying. So you got the 2 yellows either side of the red. If the bottom one, the right-hand one of those 2, slides past the other one into the left centre, then this is a great chance, because you can get on that one and just bump the red, and you're on the yellow into the same pocket, or you can avoid the red and take the yellow in the bottom left-hand corner. If that yellow doesn't pass the other yellow to the middle, then you're going to have to take them in a different order completely. And that's a loose one. He was playing on the one at the top, and he's nowhere near it.
Yeah, that's come out okay. A little bit of work to do. It's a little bit awkward from here. In terms of what's your next shot and how they all connect up.
He might be able to leave the one at the top now, last ball. If he's straight enough on the one to left centre, although looking at this angle, I don't think he is. I was thinking, yeah, when you look at the overhead, he's nowhere near. I was thinking if he could take the one left centre, screw back, take the one in the bottom half, use the one over the right centre to get up the table, but that's not an option now. So the route here is actually really tricky, because you've got to go up the table. The one that's causing him the most problems actually isn't the one at the top, it's the one at the bottom.
Yeah, it's the one at the bottom. Only goes in one place.
Does the yellow that he's on to left centre go bottom left, I was wondering. Possibly not.
Well, his plan is to play it next. It's going to be the one to the right centre, leave the cue ball pretty much where the yellow is, and he's able to pot the bottom of his yellows, but then it's getting up to the one at the top, then it's getting on the 8 ball. This is tricky. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, he's got to thread the needle here. These 2 reds on the right-hand side are playing like beach balls right now. Absolute beach balls.
So he's got to sneak it around around the back of the one close to the middle pocket, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he does that, if he goes to the bottom side of it as we look now, then he's going to get too close to the yellow at the top. He almost needs to come the other side of it, but that doesn't look quite on.
Around the back he goes. That's a pretty good shot. Oh, I spoke a little bit too soon. He's a couple of balls a little bit long.
I'm a little bit surprised he tried to get so close to it, seeing the line he picked. If the cue ball just gets past the centre pocket, he's guaranteed a shot.
Where's his target? Those reds. Go into those. Give yourself a shot on the 8-ball. He goes into it. How's your luck? How's your luck, Stevie D?
He'll take it.
The luck of the Irish.
He knew he needed some. Sometimes that's all you can do.
Oh, and then he goes and misses the 8-ball. Oh, that was... You felt a killer clearance. He thought that would really take the wind out of Tom Ford's sails in this set and set Stevie up for a 1-0 lead.
It was far from an easy 8-ball, but you get the sense that's the first nervy moment in this finals night. He knew how big that was. 3-1 with 4 minutes on the clock is massive. And he knew it, especially as he has the next break as well. Now he's going to be sitting there in his own mind going, okay, 2-2, 3 minutes on the clock, my break. Trying to still put it in his own mind. He's giving Tom this finish. Tom can't think like that, though. He's still going to make sure here.
Yeah, that's not exactly a long red for Tom Ford. I always remember when you asked him about how he'd deal with a potential 15-second shot clock, and he dismissed it as if it was the stupidest question he'd ever heard.
Yep.
And I always felt like he made a bit of a rod for his own back then. But in fairness to Tom Ford, ever since he said that and we've seen him play, he flies, doesn't he? He is genuinely one of the quickest players we've watched around this table.
15 seconds is not an issue for him at all.
5 career maximums as a professional snooker player. Made the semi-final of the UK Champs last year. And he was let in that frame because of this missed 8-ball from Stevie Dempsey.
Yeah, almost a hint of deceleration on that one. Just mistimed it, didn't cue it as well as he knows he can. This is where you've got to be mentally tough. It's not about what's just happened, it's what's about to happen in the next 3 minutes.
Remember, it is a race to 2 sets, or best of 2 sets, I should say.
Oh, look at this leave.
Wow.
Look at this leave. This is one against the pool gods for sure. It's probably the worst break he's hit in terms of quality of contact as well. Best split he's had on the back of a mistake by missing the 8-ball.
Yeah, this doesn't often happen. As anyone who plays local league will tell you, if you miss a terrible shot the frame before, it is very rare you get a presentable opportunity the next time you touch the table. Stevie Dempsey is defying that at the moment. Calls his extension just to think it through. Shot clock was just getting on top of him for a second there.
Yellow nearest the cue ball now is the issue, and it's not a big issue at all. He's just got to decide how he wants to get on it and when he wants to get on it. It may not be the worst last ball, and what I'm thinking is if he uses one left centre, and the line of that is perfect in terms of just make sure you can get past the 8-ball, clip it in, and the 8-ball's waiting right centre.
I think he's taking it now, is he? No.
He's going to... I'd be surprised if he pulls back for it now, yeah. Oh, he's come too far to go my way, so it's going to have to be right centre. But there may be a bigger gap there than it looks. He's just had a quick glance at the right-hand side of the 8-ball, but
yeah,
the bigger gap is left-hand side. That's why I thought the one he's playing now might be the one that connects to it.
Yeah, he's rerouted there. That's why he's going to take it now. He wasn't straight on that ball. He couldn't control the line. So now it's a case of yellow to the top right. Give yourself a shot at the yellow to the right middle, or potentially one of the lower pockets.
I thinking, imagine how good he would have been if he wasn't Didn't have this yellow at the bottom at that time, but that is a beautiful shot. That really is.
Shot.
That's fantastic.
And you know, the way that Stevie approaches his clearances, you know he's going to wait for those beeps on every single shot. He could have easily not done the little walk around the table there, but he wants to give Tom Ford as little opportunity as possible, make him do something a little bit special. The hammer leads again, 3-2, 47 seconds remaining in the set, and Tom Ford needs to find a finish. 47 seconds he will have, and he is enjoying himself out there, which is what I love to see. Should say as well, just in case you aren't familiar with the sets here in the Champions League, if we draw the set, both players will get half a point. We start over in set number 2, and it's basically winner takes all. Also a little key point so that you don't miss it. Should we say, for example, finish 1 each, it's a 6-red shootout that will decide it. Tom Ford needs a ball. He has got one.
He went for the cut break because he wanted to get the 8-ball in motion, which he did, but not towards the pocket.
He can fly through these sides.
Yeah. Oh, he's missed the first ball. Oh, and these reds were on as well. They were tricky to clear up in 40 seconds, but they were on.
Stevie Dempsey calls the extension, and he is not even too worried. Oh, he's called a foul, has he? What's going on here? I think that's the end of the set.
I believe he's conceded. I think I heard just heard Scott Price say it was 4 frames to 2.
I think Tom Ford's conceded. So Stevie Dempsey wins the first set here by 4 frames to 2. Set 2 when we return. Welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Champions League. Tom Ford is in the last chance saloon. He is still in with a shout in this tournament, but he must win this set, and then he must win a 6-red shootout. That is the only way he can secure passage through to the final. Stevie Dempsey, as he often does in this competition, holds the aces.
Yeah, it's a great place for Stevie to be. He knows worst way here. He's in a 6-red shootout, something he's done many, many times before, up against somebody that it's a fairly new concept for. Tom needs to put that out of his mind. He's got a great chance here to start this set with a break clearance. These have opened up really well. That was a fantastic break. Oh no, he's missed the pot though. Well, all his attention on the cannon and forgot about the pot.
Oh, how many times do we see it? And you see it as much in the snooker world as you do in the pool world. As soon as your eyes are on the cue ball and its path, it can deviate where it needs to be for the pot. That's exactly what happened there. And Tom Ford misses a pot that if he just had to pot it, he would never, ever miss. Hell of a shot that from Stevie Dempsey. He's a little bit further than he wanted. 2 or 3 rolls of the cue ball.
The overhead made it look like this red probably goes bottom right, but I'm sure it doesn't looking at this main camera angle. And he was playing on this red into the right centre, so he's slightly awkward.
Yeah, may need a reroute, may just have to take it and accept his medicine.
I think the natural's good for him here though. Overcut it, and the cue ball gets in the way, so it's going to be a big let off for Tom Ford.
Poor, isn't it just? Huge let off. Don't get too many of these. And these won't last long. Talks a little bit about how quickly Tom plays. How much do you want to see him in a 6-red shootout?
Yeah, I'd take that. I'd love to see it. I'm pretty sure the Stevie Dempsey fans right now wouldn't. It did. You mentioned it though when I first interviewed him when we knew he was coming on board with Ultimate Pool. And he said, "Oh, 15 seconds a shot's not a problem at all." And I was thinking, well, it is, but he's never.
You almost couldn't wait for that to bite him on the backside, could you? But he has lived true to his word.
Absolutely, it's never been a problem for him ever.
Yeah. Rattles through another finish. He made his sort of first statement in the Ultimate Pool Worlds with a great win over Tom Cousins in the Pro Cup in a spectacular match. It was really, really incredible. I think he's about the only player who's beat Tom Cousins in the last 6 months, to be honest with you. And no one does that without playing phenomenally well and to a great level, and it really was an excellent match. He is capable of wonderful things on the small table. For those who know Tom from the snooker world, Paul was largely where much of his upbringing was playing the county system with the likes of Mark Selby. Pretty good team Leicestershire will have had. Oh, Stevie Dempsey was a fraction away from a golden break, but he ends up dry.
Yeah, I thought this 8 ball was in for a second.
Yeah, me too.
You can see the spots on the cue ball going. He came across the ball, but he flushed it, absolutely squared it up. Oh, good reaction from Stevie as well, but it's dry as well, so immediately another chance for Tom, but first glance, this is far from a nice chance. Those 3 balls in the top right-hand corner of the table are very tricky. So going reds, does that tell me that he's thinking red on the right-hand side cushion off the yellow to open up that pocket? He's got a bit of angle on this one. He might be able to go up for a cannon now. Okay, he played the cannon on the red instead. I was wondering if he had enough angle to go up for a cannon at the top. It's trickier actually to play this red off the yellows now that it's not on the cushion. But he still manages it. Very, very good. Now attention turns to the red right in the middle of the table. 2 yellows guarding it, but I still think there's room to pot it into the right centre. Yeah, there is. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Absolutely pinpoint. If he lands straight or short straight, getting on the next ball is then really tough, and he just lands the absolute pinpoint perfect angle.
Yeah, so good. Super stuff from Tom Fords. 2-0 in the blink of an eye. And, well, the odds of a 6-run shootout just shrunk. Stevie Dempsey's got to make a bit of a comeback here in this second set. Don't rule him out. Lord knows, don't rule him out. We've been here before. You do not ever count Stevie D out.
He knows he just has to get the draw out of the set as well, so there's no panic stations, but there's nothing he can do whilst Tom Ford's at the table, and it's his break next. And if this goes to plan for Tom, it'll be 3-0 before Stevie touches the table. Oh, he's hit that so well again, but that cue ball, very nearly a golden duck. He really is hitting the pack so solid.
God, can you? He was watching, wasn't he?
It's that secondary nudge there. That's what I thought.
So was Stevie. Oh, the reactions there were an absolute picture.
It may well feel like a golden duck though for Tom, because this could be a quick reverse clearance. He's got a little bit of work, but not a huge amount here, in truth.
Yeah, in a really strange way. Do you almost prefer a golden duck? Gives you more time in the set to go and do what you want to do? Because, yeah, you're absolutely right. It should be as good as.
Hard to see what can go wrong here. He may just play for the yellow he's nearest to the top of the table. Oh, he had more angles, so he's going to come and still take it into the bottom corner. If he was straight there, he may well have just stunned it in and taken that one top left, and everything just connects all around together. But now he's left himself one shot that can go wrong here. Not this one, but it's the one after, transitioning down to the middle of the table. Don't leave yourself straight, and then you've got a decent amount of room to land in. just being ultra careful here. He doesn't want to leave himself thin on his last ball and allow the cue ball just to get away. I mean, the 8 ball is hanging right over the pocket, so the margin of error is huge, but just got to make sure.
And there it goes. Stevie Dempsey does indeed sweep through that frame. That was not really ever in doubt.
Makes the next break in this match quite big.
Yeah, it does. And this is, I mean, how often do we see it? All of a sudden, just something can just swivel the entire momentum of, or in this case, a set, but a match in this format.
Stevie's 50-50 right now on the break. He's had 4 breaks. He's had 2 successful, 2 dry. The 2 successful, though, have both been break clearances. He'd love that again.
Well, not to be. It's not quite breaking as he would like.
He's breaking from quite wide of the pack to play the front on break and screw the cue ball straight down the middle of the table. That's hard to judge from there. But he's hit that so well, and he's hit it pretty well all night long. It's, you know, nothing wrong with that break at all. Just couldn't find one to go in for him.
Clever little cannon from Tom.
I think he would have loved that to come back an extra roll of the cue ball. So when he comes back, he just flicks it, and he could have played the one he's nearest to the bottom left and then that just opens everything up, and then it's just pick your route from there. He does have the yellow nearest the bottom right-hand corner to consider as well. Short position will be required for that one. He's just coming around to see that yellow, the one I talk about. If it goes left centre, he can get below it for that pocket. Yeah. A little bounce required though. This doesn't look the best angle at first glance. He's coming low of the yellow in the bottom half of the table. He wanted to be straight or short of straight so that the cue ball's going up the table, not down. Oh, this is tight. Has he come far enough? Oh, perfect. Lovely nudge.
Yeah, that'll do.
Little bit of a nudge required. He kind of was fairly controlled with what he was trying to do. Oh, he snookered himself. Oh, no.
Oh,
just when he had solved the problem, it got himself out of trouble. He goes and snookers himself. This could be a good old hit and hope off the cushion here. He's trying to find a way of getting it going towards the corner,
I think
towards
he can
the
get
pocket.
It middle pocket off the red. I think that's what he's looking at. Underneath the yellow, straight into the red by the middle pocket.
I think the red on the side cushion gets in the way. Yeah.
Well, Stevie D. Chance knocks yet again. Frustration for Tom Ford.
Frustrating for Tom is the fact that Stevie's broken dry twice in this set and he's not punished either of them.
Yeah.
Okay, he got the second bite in frame 2, but not on this occasion. Well, not yet.
Stevie Dempsey really in this set has only had to worry about clean-up crew. And when you're doing that, it's a surefire way to win frames. There's for 2-2. And Stevie Dempsey edges closer to a second straight Champions League final.
Yeah,
Tom Ford still in the mix, but the momentum is firmly with the Irishman.
And Stevie knows it's Tom's break next, but he also knows if Tom comes up with the goods here and he makes a break clearance, with the time left on the clock, it's kind of almost putting it in his own mind. He can sit there now and think, okay, next time I come to the table, if I happen to be 3-2 behind, it's about me, it's about what I do. If I make a break clearance on my next time at the table, I'm going to get the draw out of this match and get through. If he gets a shot in this frame, it's a bonus.
I dare say he might not.
Well, that sums up the frustration of Paul. This is the worst break Tom's hit in the match, and he showed it straight away. Look at that. And he gets success off it.
It really is Paul in a nutshell, isn't it? It's such a stupid game at times. We all know it so well.
And he's flushed a few today and had no success of it. This one, he absolutely, well, gets it all wrong, and he gets left this. Two bad yellows. He didn't really want that one going in. He'd rather have nudged it over and been on it, but has to back his queuing now. And it's not to be. Had to back the queuing there and accept that he was going to have a very tricky last ball, but he's not going to get there, and now Stevie has an opportunity to start thinking about controlling this match.
And it's a big, big chance now.
It's a tough counter clearance in terms of his first shot is tricky, but actually if he gets this first shot right, the connections aren't too bad. The yellows are in the way, but they connect together. So an excellent opening pot, and now it's mop-up time. And the reason I say the connection's good, the one that's the most awkward at the top of the table, the red to the right-hand side, connects to the window you've got for it.
Loads of action on the cue ball there, like that.
Strangely, he'd love to get here in a shot's time, but I don't think he'll risk it, because connecting the one at the top of the table to the red, and the red is harder than connecting it to the 8-ball.
He was close. He often is with that shot clock. He dances with it.
It's still not too tricky to connect to the 8-ball. Just got to avoid the yellows. That flick won't hurt him. Excellent couple of shots there. And now he's running the clock down. Now he's playing the match.
As is his want. Less than 3 minutes. Tom Ford, at the end of this frame, will need 2 frames. He even tries to keep that cue ball moving a little bit longer. Trying to use all the tricks in the book.
An extra second or two there. But as you say, it's not, the key here is it's not about having to win this set, it's about not losing it, and the fact that he's a frame ahead. Tom's got to win 2 in very quick time here. And Stevie gets the next break. If he makes the ball, we should see him just control it. He probably won't even think about the clearance unless it's obvious. He'll probably just be potting balls, running that clock down as much as he can.
It's going to be dry. All Stevie was thinking there is, if I can make a ball, I pretty much ice the game. but Tom Ford will get another chance. He's got 2.5 minutes to clear the table twice, and we'll go to a 6-red shootout. First shot's a big one.
That's an excellent shot, because those yellows on the right-hand side are not nice. And he's dealt with one of them. There's one more to deal with. He might play short position on it because he's got the perfect ball to play short position. Yellow right centre. If he gets the angle, he can drop behind it. That is not nice though. Hasn't landed as he wanted to. Beautiful. That really is a lovely shot. Didn't have much room to play with. If he goes much higher on it, it makes the next shot really tough. If he goes any lower, he hits the red. So,
oh, this is really good.
Yes,
it's really good. Yellow slides by the red. He'll be tight, mind. Looks like he may just have to accept long position on the 8 ball. And he crunches it home. Tom Ford will have just under a minute to save his skin. We're all square again. And he's got 59 seconds to force a 6-red shootout. He's got the break. He needs a chance.
What a match we've got on our hands here. A lot riding on the next minute. Tom needs a ball. Goes without saying, if he breaks dry, Stevie will control this frame. "59 seconds. Tom Ford must win this frame. He's made a ball and he's going to have a chance. Puff of the cheeks. Well, the split's good, but is he on the first ball? He has to go reds. I think yellows are the colour set, but he has to go reds. Now, reds aren't terrible, mind. Depends on the 2 reds in the middle of the table. Does either of those have a pocket? Because it opens up the other one.
I thought one of them would have gone to the right middle, but he elected not to take it, which means he's going long.
I think he was trying to play on the one into the right centre there, maybe. Maybe he was just playing on one of these in the middle. Well, he probably was.
And it jaws, and that's going to do it. Stevie Dempsey is once again an Ultimate Pool Champions League finalist. He cannot be stopped in this competition. The Irishman returns to the final as he seeks to defend his crown.